Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between LuisKiller and me here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. I've been casting a lot of games recently and my voice is starting to go. I'm also doing some more map reviews for a couple strategy guides. And I realized I want to hit my quota of 3 games on my channel, so I will go ahead and cast one of my games here. And since I know what's going to be happening, I can talk about the strategy that I'm using. And this is a pretty common strategy that I use against Zerg. I know as soon as this strategy gets out and I play against other players, I know that they're gonna be able to know how to stop this. So I'm currently in Diamond. I think I'm like a 32 or 3300 Diamond player, and LuisKiller was a favorite in this matchup. I think he's like a rank 16 Masters. So I'm having a difficult time trying to win my other matchups, Protoss and Terran in specific. For some reason, I don't have a really solid strategy against Terran, but I have a pretty decent strategy against Zerg and now against Protoss, thanks to World Elite's Loner. So now back over here, an SCV will be building a barracks over here, and I will be upgrading. I will be getting a refinery up in just a moment. So this is pretty much your standard build order. So it's your standard build order from Terran, and it looks like every other build order that Terran normally uses. LuisKiller now moving out with the drone will be able to make it up that ramp. Overlord now making its way over here, and now very, very smart by LuisKiller to make sure that there are no proxy raxes down here, and then making sure there's an Overlord to gain sight here and make sure that a bunker is not being placed down. SCV now chasing around this drone. I want to make sure that this drone does not get any damage onto this particular barracks now. I am getting some damage onto this drone here, but not enough to really take it out. I am going to be upgrading to an orbital command, training up a Marine, and then trying to shut down this extractor up in just a moment. I will also set up another supply depot here as I now set out with this SCV in order to scout. So I am going to scout out that there is a natural hatchery being placed down by LuisKiller, and he is going to be going for a spawning pool and most likely an extractor in just a moment. He perhaps getting a little bit delayed on that extractor as a Marine now makes it over in order to try to shut down this extractor. The extractor does have 1 building armor, so it takes a Marine quite a bit of time to try to shoot it down. Go for a tech lab, and then I will be going for a Reaper. The reason why I go for an early Reaper is the Reaper has such fast movement speed that if I can even pick off 2 to 3 drones, or even 2 drones, that is a very, very powerful psychological effect on the Zerg. The Zerg, knowing that I have a Reaper, will then be forced to train up more Zerglings in order to deal with the Reaper, instead of trying to train up more drones. And if I'm able to prevent a drone from being built, it's as though I killed a drone, allowing me to stay even in terms of this economic game. If you take a look at the unit count now, he has 18 drones, I have 18 SCVs and a mule as well. But as soon as he gets those larvae from those queens, he's going to be able to get a very strong economy going. Now I am going into a barracks, and I'm now getting the level 1 weapons upgrade. Yeah, I'm going for a very, very fast weapons upgrade here, because I'm going to be trying to move out with a lot of Marines. Also, I'm not sure when this game was played, but I have recently also been trying to get the armor upgrades. As the armor upgrades, the Marauders with 2 armor bode much, much better against Zerglings in particular, as Zerglings are only able to deal 5-6 damage per attack. Oh, LuisKiller providing me only 3 damage per attack when there is a base of 2 armor. And now I am going to be mining some additional gas over here, getting that concussive shell, training up Marauders, and also training up some units over there. Back over here, the Reaper was trying... Oh, I completely misclicked. What I wanted to do is I want to try to jump into this location to see if there was either a Roach Warren or a Baneling Nest. If I saw that Roach Warren, I think I would have changed the add-on on this barracks to be a tech lab instead of a reactor, but we'll see. You'll see how this game goes. Against a Zerg, if they have an early Roach Warren, I will be going for a second tech lab as opposed to another reactor. Otherwise, I go for an additional reactor for more Marines, as I think that my opponent may be trying to dump straight into Zerglings in order to counter me back. And with level 1 weapons upgrades on the Terran infantry and a combat shield, it really, really helps out. You can see there are more Marines being trained. Level 1 weapons upgrade about to be completed, and this is about only 7 minutes into this game. So that does give me time to move out when my armor upgrade is also being completed as well, so I could have 1-1 units. Now, this is a critical portion of the mind game in Terran versus Zerg. I'm at the 7-minute mark right now, and I'm placing down a command center purposely by my ramp. The reason why I want to do this is Zerglings oftentimes try to come into this location to see if you have an expansion that is being set up. If your opponent knows that you're going for an expansion, they will continue to power drone as well, and that's what I want. If you take a look at the army sizes, the army supply side of me is what, 21 versus his 15, so I definitely have a much larger army at this stage. Combat shield now being completed as well, and I'm going to be moving around the 9-minute mark of this game, perhaps even 8:30. The engineering bay, I think I delayed a little bit on getting this combat shield or getting the armor infantry upgrade, trying to get some more supply depots. And then as soon as this command center is done and upgraded to an orbital command, I can now then pull SCVs off of my mineral line, and you're going to see how effective that is. And having double mules will make it so that my economy isn't hurting near all that much. You can see I'm sitting at 29 harvesters compared to 41, upgrading to an orbital command now. You can see the engineering bay about 60 seconds away from being completed, so at the 9-minute 45-second mark I should have 1-1 upgrades on my Marines and my units. Production wise, I'm still training up 4 Marines and a Marauder each. He is going for a fast infestation pit in order to try to perhaps get some fungal growth. You can see the army size 1650 versus 950. My army is almost double in size compared to his now. And now as I move out, first I'm bringing along SCVs. I'm bringing along, I believe, I normally try to bring along 12 SCVs. And the SCVs are going to be on auto repair. Those SCVs on auto repair will start to repair damage from each other, and as they're battling it out, and they're also able to absorb a lot of damage from Zerglings because of that natural armor. So you can see that the SCVs are now on auto repair. More Marines and Marauders are coming out. He is getting the movement speed upgrade. SCVs leading the charge and able to just constantly repair each other as the Marines and Marauders are battling it out. And what the Banelings are now coming in from the back, so I am going to lose a couple of Marines, but the SCVs are still repairing each other, and you can see how much damage they really absorb. The Marines and Marauders continue to battle it out. Zerglings now trying to come in, but the Zerglings are simply falling way too quickly against the upgraded 1-1 Marines and 1-1 Marauders. Those Marauders are only absorbing 3 damage per attack against these Zerglings, so I guess the damage per second is at most 5? Yeah, so 5 damage per second, while the Marauders themselves are able to do 11 or probably the same amount of damage back towards those Zerglings. The Zerglings also coming in a single file line. The Marines are there to support. The SCVs, you can see in that entire battle, I was able to repair a lot of the damage on those SCVs. Any damage dealt was just essentially damage lost, and that was why I was able to take this game. So yeah, this is my current Terran versus Zerg strategy. It is kind of cheap, and it is kind of unpredictable. I do see that there is a double evolution chamber here, and he is getting the level 1 armor upgrades, but really my Marines are able to deal 7 damage per attack, killing a Zergling in 5 shots instead of 6. Marauders also dealing significantly more damage against roaches and taking less damage as well. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this tutorial. It's a natural progression. A couple months back, I talked about the DGAAE build, the Marauder Ghost, Marine Hellion. This strategy has actually been working better for me. Normally, what I try to do is I try to clear out the army, and then the Zerg player at this point will then try to almost turtle up in his base a little bit more. As soon as I can shut down this hatchery at the natural expansion and destroy some of his drones, I will then take the economic lead. My orbital command is already up. You can take a look at my income. I have 33 harvesters. I can get double mules down, and those double mules will make up the difference for that economy that I've lost. And then by establishing this expansion over here, I can rebuild up. For some reason, I'm not training SCVs. Normally, I would continually try to train up more SCVs in order to make sure that this is not an all-in. Be very careful, folks. This is not an all-in attack. You do not want to invest all of your SCVs. You just want to make sure that your opponent loses more drones and their hatchery than you lose SCVs. thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between me and LuisKiller here on Xel'Naga Caverns.